Hello everyone and welcome to Life Redesigned. I'm Carrie.
And I am her 6'2" and very sassy husband named Bob. And well, in 2022, for those of you who are new to the channel, we sold everything we own, said goodbye to our 3 children. We put nothing in storage, nothing hiding in friends' houses, and definitely nothing in an empty warehouse behind a Chipotle in Topeka, Kansas. That's for sure. Shh. But we put everything that we owned inside our 2023 22 MLE from Redesigned and have not looked back. Well, until a couple of weeks ago when Carrie said, hey Bob, this past year has been fantastic, but I miss our babies and we need to head back to New England. After a few calls to Thousand Trails, we got things rerouted and here we are in Pennsylvania, and we are actually in Thousand Trails, Pennsylvania, Dutch Country. Now this is a campground that I was a little nervous about coming here after reading all the reviews online and just gathering information before we go. We like to look at things at internet speeds and availability, park friendliness, stuff like that. And the reviews for this place were all over. And everything from this is just craziness to the sites are tight to there's no internet. You get the idea. Well, let me tell you something. Before Carrie and I were full-time RVers, well, we were campers. We had a small little pop-up that we remodeled ourselves. If I can find some pictures, I'll put this up here. Graduated to a small Winnebago and then eventually our full-time home. And one of the things that Carrie and I like about New England, what we're used to, is this nice canopy of greenery.
It is beautiful.
Not so much humidity. And we like that small family campground, that small state park feel. And this place delivered big time. Now, coming through, our experience here was rather interesting. But before we get into that, I want to thank today's sponsor of our video. There is no sponsor because we're not accepting sponsors at this time. And if you appreciate that kind of honesty, that raw review, we kindly ask that you consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and smash that like button because she puts a lot of work in behind the scenes and she likes it when you give her a good like. Now, getting here, again, being a little bit nervous, this is a first come, first served park and there is no site assignments. So, you know, there's always that little bit of angst that you got to get there. Well, we got here, we were right at the gate, right at check-in time, excited to get here, and there's nobody at the gate. There's no ranger, there's no host, there's nobody. You have to pick up a walkie-talkie, you call somebody and they say, well, they'll come right down. Well, about 15, 20 minutes later, us and about 5 other nice couples are still waiting. Somebody came down and we were like, oh no, the reviews are true. Now the reality was somebody just had to go to the bathroom and they needed a few minutes. So we gave them that. We were first in line and they said, here's our available sites. You take this one. And they gave us C41. Now coming through, as you see some of this video here, the roads are a little narrow, and that is 100% normal for northeast campgrounds. Yep. These are not, you know, big wide open parks, you know, big parking lots like we were used to in Florida and South Carolina. These are campgrounds. You took a right, we come up the hill, and the first thing that before we go any further, one, the sites aren't marked very well. I think ours was marked with Sharpie marker that we couldn't see from the road. So once you figured out your bearings and you get into the sites are uneven. They're not level sites. And again, that's part of camping in the Northeast. I don't think I've ever come across a legitimate old campground that's level. I don't think I've ever seen that in the Northeast. And there's no concrete patios because, well, concrete freezes and cracks and does all that stuff. But anyhow, you get the point. This is a gravel pad and it takes a little bit to get level. So you kind of need to know your equipment. But once you get that going, it's rather simple here. Everybody is very family friendly, very family oriented. As we'll take you through some of this here, there are a lot of annuals. And while everybody says, oh, there's too many annuals in parks, well, annuals pay the bills and we understand that. And annuals, having too many is a good sign that, well, hey, that park must be doing something right. And lo and behold, as we spent a little bit of time here, we found out that that's true. This park has a tremendous amount of activities, not only for the kids, but for the adults as well. They have your staples like bingo and basketball, but they also have things like Christmas in July, where they have campsite setups where you can, it's like Christmas here, they decorate it. You got your golf buggies that are all decorated.
Yep.
They're doing a Mardi Gras weekend. They have parades. You get the idea. There's plenty of activities going around. For the adults, they had bingo. I think they had a DJ. They had karaoke going on. It's a good time. Now, before I go too far into it, I will say that there's a gun range in close proximity, because you do hear the pop-pop-pops. And again, that is the Northeast.
Yeah.
You are in a rural area. You're going to get that, but I don't think it was anything that was too intrusive.
No.
Something I want to point out about this park, as well as pretty much any other, if you read enough reviews, you'll go nuts, because everybody has, a different style of camping. We used to have our pop-up, and we couldn't fathom coming in a 50-foot mega Class A diesel pushing thing, but people do that, right? You have travel, you have RVers, you have campers, you have tent campers, everything here, and that's the beautiful part. No matter your camping style, I think they have something for everybody here. If you like to be near things, well, Hershey is 25 minutes away.
Yep.
And you could be at Hershey Park and doing all the screaming roller coasters and Chocolate World and all that stuff and have that fun. If you're not into that and you like to take it slow and easy, you go right into Lancaster and you can go on a buggy ride with the Amish and they'll take you around. If you don't like that and you like to shop, there are a plethora of shopping between outlets.
Yep.
They have a mall. They have pretty much anything that you could need.
A couple movie theaters.
A couple of movie theaters. Everything is all within, I'd say, a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this great. If you're also ones that like to shoot videos in your RV by the interstate, well, they got you covered here, because they got Pennsylvania Highway right over down the road. And they will gladly charge you $37 toll, because we know that. Anyhow, getting back to the campground, as part of wandering around here, this is about 1.5 miles in circumference. This Carrie and I walk it every day.
Hill.
And a lot of hills. And speaking of uphill, well, boy, talk about an uphill battle getting this video filmed. Hi, it's Future Bob and Carrie here.
Hello.
We had to transport back in time to finish this review, because apparently halfway through our review of this place, the camera decided it wasn't going to film anymore. So if you're still with us, we do want to continue and tell you all about this place. And I think we left off on the hills in our walks, Carrie.
Yes, all uphill.
And part of that walk going downhill is this place has one of the best mini golf courses that we have seen in all our travels for a RV park, campground, whatever you want to call it. If you've caught our review from Diamond Caverns in Kentucky, where they call themselves an RV and golf resort, you know that, well, that golf course was pretty pitiful. Yeah. This here it looks brand new. It's taken care of. All their golf balls are brand new. The putters are brand new. The putting greens are brand new. Everything is amazing. And everybody who came through with their family, you could see their faces light up as they came through, and they were like, wow, this is really nice. And it's free. Yeah. Right? And it's just one of those little things that make a campground a family-friendly atmosphere. Yeah. Now, the only other downside to that right next door is they have a store. And that store is only open, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from like 11 to 5.
6.
And that 11 to 6. And that has to do with staffing, which we understand, but at the same time, would have been nice to get some supplies.
Full house. Like, they were packed.
Yeah, they definitely were. But speaking of packed, no place was as more packed as the pool. Yeah. So they have a great little pool here, along with a splash pad for the kids. I don't think the pool got over like 5 feet tall, which is perfect for Penelope here, because she's only like 3.5 feet tall.
Easy, Chuck.
But in all seriousness, no, they had a great setup. Their staff was constantly in there making sure it was clean. We saw them about 2 times a day checking pH levels, which is something we don't see very often. And they were just generally making sure that everybody was taken care of. That kind of attention to detail is something that, when you look at Thousand Trails as a whole, a lot of people start complaining about that there isn't any. This place really has it down, and it's a testament to the good nature of the management there as well as the rest of the park staff. They take pride in ownership, and it shows with this. Then your favorite room,
The laundry.
the laundry room. Now this here was just a very nice laundry room. It's air conditioned. It's a place to do laundry,
Yeah.
and you get to call it a day and move on. It's great. When the machines work the first time in, the first time out, that's great.
Yeah.
And that's all we really asked for. The rest of it, there was that guy that did try to hit on you until that came back, but we won't talk about that. It's another story.
That's embarrassing.
Oh boy, but so if you're traveling, don't hit on ladies. They might be married. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyhow, great laundry facilities, as well as everything here are top notch. We did not use the bathhouses because we are self-contained, so we kind of stay away from those. But did peek inside, and they're beautiful. Everything's clean. And clean is kind of an understatement because in Carrie and I's walks, we see them cleaning it out 2 or 3 times a day. So now, if you're checking the reviews out online, you're wondering, well, why are there mixed reviews? Well, I can tell you why, because we heard it firsthand when we were there coming into this loop, and I'll put this video overlay here of this particular section. I'm not going to call anybody out, but there was a nice older couple trying to back in their travel trailer. The roads are a little tight as he drove up across the site, across the street, and almost hit a tree there, and whatever. His wife screaming at him. They got 2 of their adult children screaming in the back. The wife is throwing her hands up in the air going, "This is the worst campground ever." Legitimately screamed this.
Yeah.
And all because, well, it's a tighter road, and the gentleman backing in wasn't quite used to his equipment, and decided that he was going to take it from the wrong approach. And yeah, he had a small travel trailer, didn't really need all the room. But hey, that's part of RV life, and you learn, but at the same time, you can't fault the park for your abilities to back in or
and he had
whatever.
3 or 4 people yelling at him, which, helped him listen a lot.
And that is a point of contention with any RV park that we've been to, especially when we are learning.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but apparently when you go to back into a site, everybody wants to come out and look, and it just adds to the agitation.
Yeah.
And it can really take your trip and turn it into something sour before you've even got to experience the sweet. How you like that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to step away from the camera because this is now time for Carrie's new segment, which is Carrie's campfire score.
So I think for this one, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. And the reason it's not a 5 was the check-in process. I didn't mind waiting the 5 minutes. The 20 minutes, it's a first come first serve type deal, and you have all these other people behind you, and it's nerve-wracking. Forget backing in. This is nerve-wracking as it is. And 1 o'clock, I'm sorry, good, bad, or indifferent, you should have had somebody at the gate. Number 2, I do have a second one, was the store. 3 days. They're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday till 6 p.m. Now again, they were full. It was a packed house with everybody playing, the families doing mini golf. They were at the pool. They could have gone in and had ice cream. I mean, even if it was just like on a Wednesday or something, just maybe 1 extra day. But other than that, the place was fantastic. Everything was great. No complaints other than those 2 things, in my opinion.
And that's Carrie's review.
Woo!
I will say that
flash.
when as we pack up and we get ready to leave, our experience here was absolutely incredible. And this, if you're looking for a true, real campground and you want to throw back to a nice family time, think of the 70s, that type of thing, and not so much in decor, but just good old family fun and reconnecting with nature and stuff, because there's hiking here, there's a whole bunch of things. We definitely recommend checking out 1,000 Trails, Pennsylvania Dutch Country.
Yeah.
Again, if you like this kind of content, this unsponsored, unfiltered reviews, we kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel and give Carrie a big old thumbs up, because as we said earlier in the video, before everything went kaput, Carrie really likes those thumbs ups. It keeps her motivated to keep coming back for more. Well, until next time, I am Bob.
I'm Carrie.
And this has been Life Redesigned in 1,000 Trails, Pennsylvania Dutch Country.